Hi everyone, today we will hear two stories of people exploring horrifying urban legends. Stick around for a channel announcement at the end of the video. The cold, pale moonlight filtered through the dense fog, casting eerie shadows on the crumbling remnants of the forgotten city. The air was thick with the scent of decay and the haunting whispers of long-forgotten memories. A lone figure, cloaked in a tattered coat, moved cautiously through the deserted streets, each step echoing through the hollow buildings like a distant, mournful cry. As the figure ventured deeper into the city, the legends began to unravel. The first tale spoke of the hollow children, ghostly apparitions of children who vanished without a trace centuries ago. The explorer's flashlight flickered, and for a moment, spectral forms danced at the edge of the beam, their hollow eyes filled with silent sorrow. A chilling breeze swept through the street, carrying the faint sound of children's laughter, a sound that sent shivers down the explorer's spine. Pressing on, the figure reached the heart of the city, where the infamous Wailing Tower stood. According to the legend, the tower was home to a vengeful spirit, a woman who had been wronged in life and now sought retribution in death. The explorer felt an overwhelming sense of dread as they approached the tower, its dark silhouette looming ominously against the moonlit sky. The wind picked up, and a blood-curdling wail pierced the night, a sound that seemed to come from the very walls of the tower itself. The explorer's journey took them next to the Mirror of Lost Souls, an ancient, cracked mirror hidden in the depths of an abandoned mansion. It was said that those who gazed into the mirror would see the faces of the damned, souls trapped in a perpetual state of torment. With trepidation, the figure wiped away the dust covering the mirror's surface. For a fleeting moment, countless anguished faces stared back, their eyes pleading for release. The explorer recoiled in horror, the haunted expressions seared into their mind. Finally, the figure arrived at the city's most feared location, the Blood Cathedral. This decrepit church was rumored to be the site of dark rituals and sacrificial offerings. The heavy wooden doors creaked open, revealing a grand, yet decaying interior. The air was heavy with the scent of iron and old blood. As the explorer stepped inside, the candles on the altar flickered to life, casting an unholy glow over the room. Shadows danced along the walls, forming grotesque shapes and faces that seemed to move and twist in the flickering light. The legend of the Shadow Priest haunted this cathedral, a figure cloaked in darkness, condemned to wander the halls for eternity. As the explorer moved closer to the altar, a shadow detached itself from the darkness, taking the form of a tall, gaunt figure. The Shadow Priest's hollow eyes stared into the explorer's soul, and an overwhelming sense of dread washed over them. The temperature dropped, and the air grew thick with malevolence. The figure turned to flee, but the shadows seemed to come alive, reaching out with skeletal hands to grasp at their clothes, their skin, their very soul. The explorer ran through the darkened streets, the whispers of the damned following close behind. The city itself seemed to pulse with a sinister energy, as if the very ground beneath their feet was alive with the souls of the cursed. As the figure finally broke free from the city's grasp, the fog lifted, and the first light of dawn began to pierce the horizon. The terrifying urban legends of the forgotten city would remain just that, legends, but for the explorer who had witnessed the horrors firsthand, the shadows of the forgotten city would forever haunt their dreams, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the veil of reality. Let's head to the second story now. The moon hung high in the ink-black sky, its pale light barely penetrating the dense canopy of the cursed Black Hollow woods. An icy breeze rustled through the ancient trees, whispering secrets of the past to those who dared to listen. A solitary figure, wrapped in a heavy cloak, navigated the winding forest path, their breath visible in the cold night air. The first legend the explorer sought was that of the Weeping Widow. As the path led deeper into the forest, the figure came upon a dilapidated cottage, barely visible through the overgrown foliage. The legend spoke of a woman whose husband vanished in the woods, leaving her to wander aimlessly, consumed by grief. The explorer's lantern cast a dim glow on the cottage's broken windows and rotting wood. Suddenly, a soft, mournful sobbing echoed through the trees, growing louder and more desperate. The explorer's heart pounded as the sound seemed to come from all directions, wrapping around them like a suffocating shroud. Determined to uncover the next legend, the explorer continued onward, arriving at the Whispering Pool. This small, stagnant body of water was said to hold the voices of those who drowned there, drawn in by an unseen force. Kneeling by the edge of the pool, the explorer strained to hear the whispers that legend foretold. The water remained still, reflecting the moonlight in an unnerving, glassy sheen. Then, barely audible, the explorer heard faint voices, their words indistinguishable but filled with a haunting plea for help. Ripples suddenly disturbed the surface, and ghostly hands seemed to reach up from the depths, grasping at the air before vanishing once more, leaving the pool behind. The figure made their way to the hanging tree, an ancient oak twisted and gnarled by time and tragedy. It was said that those who were unjustly hanged from its branches would haunt the tree forever. The explorer approached cautiously, the tree's massive limbs casting grotesque shadows on the ground. A cold, unnatural silence enveloped the area, broken only by the creak of the old tree swaying in the wind. As the explorer looked up, they saw the faint outline of figures hanging from the branches, their forms translucent and swaying gently as if caught in a breeze. The figures' faces were contorted in eternal agony, and their hollow eyes seemed to follow the explorer's every move. Pressing forward, the explorer reached the cursed chapel, a ruinous structure hidden deep within the woods. The chapel was said to be the site of a massacre, where a congregation met a gruesome end at the hands of a mad preacher. The explorer stepped inside, the remnants of broken pews and shattered stained glass crunching underfoot. A sense of foreboding permeated the air, thick with the scent of mildew and decay. The explorer's lantern flickered, casting long shadows that danced along the walls. Then, a sudden burst of maniacal laughter echoed through the chapel, and ghostly figures appeared, reenacting their final, terrifying moments. The mad preacher stood at the pulpit, his eyes wild with a feverish gleam, and the congregation cowered in fear as a dark force overtook them. Fleeing the chapel, the explorer made their way to the final legend, the Spectral Guardian of the Hollow. This entity was said to protect the woods from intruders. Appearing as a towering figure cloaked in shadows, the explorer's path led to a clearing bathed in an eerie, otherworldly light. The temperature plummeted, and the air grew thick with an oppressive energy. From the edge of the clearing, the Spectral Guardian emerged, a massive, shadowy form with glowing eyes that pierced the darkness. The ground trembled as it moved, each step resonating with an unnatural power. The explorer felt an overwhelming urge to run, but their legs refused to move, as if bound by the very earth beneath them. With a final surge of willpower, the explorer broke free from the Guardian's hold and fled through the forest, the trees seemingly closing in around them. The whispers, sobs, and laughter of the legends pursued them, a cacophony of terror that echoed through the night. The figure burst out of the woods just as the first light of dawn began to break, the legends of Black Hollow Woods now a permanent scar on their soul. The cursed woods of Black Hollow would forever remain a place of fear and mystery, a testament to the dark forces that dwell just beyond the veil of the known world. For the explorer, the haunting memories would serve as a grim reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, waiting for the next soul brave or foolish enough to venture into the depths of Black Hollow. Thanks for watching. Now, let's move on to the channel announcement. I have noticed that our channel has been getting a decent number of views on our videos. Hence, at 50 subscribers, I will share a community post where all of you can write your stories for me to feature in a video. After that milestone, I will also have many more surprises coming up, so stay tuned and subscribe. Peace.